Welcome back, my gardening friends. I'm at my father's allotment, and this is where I'm growing some of my giant vegetables, or are they giant weeds? Oh my goodness, shock of my life when I got up here. This was all weeded, cleaned, planted, kept tidy, and now look at it. It wouldn't take a lot to clear it up, but highly disappointed. These cabbages got attacked early on. Now these red cabbages, you've seen them before, they make for good eating anyway, so even though that's got some pigeon damage and a few holes in, not a problem. And then I saw this hiding amongst the weeds. Now, can I put my hand in there? Can I give you some sort of idea? The light is very bright. Maybe I can find something to put there to give you an idea how big it is. We'll have a little look shortly, but there's another one there. In here is some more of the celeriac, carrots, some green cabbage, beets, but okay, let's see if I can find something. So that's a 4-inch pot, and it's certainly doing well. And if what I might have to do is net this one up. Panic stations now, and that's like I said, better than the one. Oh, this is an ancient muckheap. You see there, that's split because of the rain that we've had, and there's another one there growing as well. I normally don't water or don't do nothing on this muckheap. Just let them have it. I'm not fussed. Yeah, nettles. These beets have gone to seed. I'll get a shadow in a minute. There's last year's beetroot, all going to seed. I managed to save some from the allotment that time, but the carrots aren't looking very good. They've split. As long as they keep growing, but we've got till September, not a problem. But do I thin this out, or just do I let it get on with it? It's a little bit of a camouflage for those cabbages. I thought I'd take you up to my father's allotment first. There's his little growing space. We've helped him out a lot because they've been on lockdown now ever since it started. I think my father's been out twice. My mother hasn't left the house or garden. They just don't want to get this virus. But at one time, my father and his work colleague, there's the fence line, worked. This was all one allotment, several allotments, but they only ended up with 2 of them left on this site, and it's rented out to horses now. So they can't do a lot now they're getting on a bit. We do help, but it's a nice little place for them to come when we have a normal year. 2020 will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so see if I can get back to my plot now to show you my giants. This video is about the giants, how I'm growing them and why I'm growing them. Why do I want to grow them? Because the giant vegetable community is as great as the ordinary allotment gardening community, sharing seeds and what have you. But I do enjoy growing these. I'll grow the vegetables that I can eat, tomatoes this year, so nothing goes to waste. Not even these. When I get a chance to come up and thin this out, it might be too late now. Never mind. I'll just take in the view for one last time, and then we'll go back to the allotments. I'll see you there hopefully, or there'll be a part 2. So I'll just say it happy gardening to you all. Until next time. Ta-ra for now. That's just in case we don't get there. It switches itself off very lots and lots of times. Well, we made it. Well, this is plot 1. This is the fruit plot for anybody that's new to the channel. I don't normally walk about, but volunteer sunflower. But today, I thought I'd just do something different. So it's more about giant vegetables. This is my manure bin runoff. We've got the new roof on to collect the rainwater and stop this from getting soaked. And still haven't emptied it, but that's liquid manure. Sunflowers for this hashtag sunflower challenge. Looking beautiful now. So here's me thinking that this cabbage here was doing absolutely wonderfully. So if you can just imagine, this is the netting I use. I just basically put it on top just so that the pigeons can't land. Come here, my little friend. See how easily the leaves mark? Going to have to spray this with neem oil again. The pups are started to come, so if you can imagine what my hand looked like on the one up at my father's allotment and that one, this is a baby. But that's the fun in growing. It never ever grows the same twice. This is the wildflower garden, wildlife pond area. There's like a little hotel in there, one layer for the frogs, which is wet, and then all the rest for the birds and anything else that may want to live in there. Skip diving and things that we've repurposed, recycled or collected over the last 2 weeks. I've had lots and lots of pots given me, so I need to sort through those. I'm favouring the square pots just lately, so I'll be sorting all those out, seeing if I'll get equal size, and then I can put the rest on the allotment pile for other people to use. Picked this up this morning. The wife walked the dog and said somebody's put a hose pipe out. Great. I've got 2 connectors. What are they? £2.50, £3 each. If they're good, then I will be quids in with that. I thought there was a, that must have dropped off somewhere. But ideal hose for the bridge siphoning system that I'm going to be looking into, where all the tanks have a pipe connected to them, so I can take water from here and it'll take water from both of those, so it fills from there and I can keep taking from here. Once it's empty, then I can go back over there, but obviously if the pipes are right at the bottom, it'll drain anyway. But a great system. I do like it, and as you can see, it's full and the pipe's right in the bottom. That hose pipe I've got is a bit flimsy, mind you, so is that, so maybe it'll be okay. I was going to get some metal tubing to slide this pipe into so it didn't fold in on itself. Got a giant celeriac there and another beet there. It's all underground, so we're not sure how big they are. We've mentioned these lifting straps before, and then that's today's skip find. Now when I saw it, I thought, have they put it in the skip just out the way? But you know me, I'll always go and ask, and the lady said no, it's no good because it's got a puncture, and what's happened, the tyre has come off both sides of this plastic. I've noticed this before, they either destroy themselves or they come undone. The inner tube is still solid, so I may change this to one of the metal rims. Hardly been used. Couldn't believe my luck, but the lady was quite happy that I was going to fix it. She didn't want to buy a new wheel and tyre. She could have repaired it, but unfortunately You have to have the know-how, and I've got a video on YouTube how to fix a wheelbarrow tyre without using tools. I'll try and put that in at the end. Unfortunately, our allotment site got broken into midweek, and quite a few people had things taken. My gates were open. I haven't found anything missing. This is one of the steel rims. If you're going to buy a wheelbarrow, buy one with a steel rim. And make sure you put it out of the way. Got everything everywhere, guys. So this is square foot gardening. Everything's growing really well. Really pleased with how things are going. Poor old tomato in a bottle, not doing so well. And this bed needs a bit of a clear out, but we've got new things growing. No signs of major blight on the potatoes. It's always difficult. We keep checking just to see if there's anything that looks different. A few of the tips are just started to brown off, get the odd mark, but not overly worried with anything at the moment. It's very close. Mustn't touch anything else now. Now I've touched that. Keeping a close eye. The giant celeriac in the raised pallet collar beds. Giant Prague celeriac. That's how I can say it now. It's from Graham Barrett the seed, and all the beetroot from Dave Thomas seed is doing well. How well we'll find out, but when you see everybody else on the forums you think, oh my goodness, I'm way behind. But it's all about the fun, all about the fun. Hello butterfly. You're not landing maggots on my red cabbage, are you? Go away. This beetroot from a different grower has gone to seed. That one's been removed, and a couple more from Graham Thomas there. And the celery bed, I'll be talking about good and bad in another video, but overall I'm not too worried about the celery at the moment. Weed as we go. There's the last of the broad beans. As I promised, I was going to save one of the stems. Been lucky, hardly any black fly this time. Extra sowing of carrots there. Covered up. Just sowed another lot there with radishes in between. That looks like it's drying out, so that'll need a drop of water. Let's have a quick look under here without. Yeah. So. No, I didn't put any radishes in that one. But this is a cracking idea as a coal frame. Pinch that off William Coleman, Allotment and Garden. Long roots. I got a third place at Malvern for my long beetroot, 3 and a bit meters. These are 4 meter guttering, but what you find is when you actually wash the roots, they get longer and longer. And hopefully one year I'm hoping that they'll all fall out the bottom of that into a special darkened container, and the roots will just stay in some water. We've got the tank up there, irrigation, closer to the day or weeks before I shall leave that on, so that water's continually running through when the roots are down here, and I'll try and just feed them a little bit, but I don't use all the foods that others use. Extra pallet collar bed gone in. That's where my leeks and garlic were, so I've cleared this space now. That's almost ready. And then we've still got all this soil and compost mix to try and get into 3 lots of pallet collars. I'm out of pallet collars now, once I've built this one. So we'll be coming 1, 2 and 3 more. Look at them sunflowers, volunteers. They soon grow. Just let me turn around. Now, for some reason, calculations went completely out the window. Trouble is, you see, I put that pallet collar halfway across where the compost bins finish, and no way was it. We've got a good foot there, overhang. So I was thinking I'll build some strawberry planters there, nice and close, so I can water them. But say, there's the old bed, and this is what happens to your wood when you don't put plastic to line it. It has been there a few years. So this is the irrigation. There's my elastic bands, so when I get to the allotment, I'll pop the elastic band on my hand, then I put that elastic band on the other hand. So when I see that elastic band, I think, oh, what's the other elastic band? And then I remember that I've got water on somewhere. So that was from Babette, who's in the garden. I've sowed one of the radishes, so I'm hoping that will get to a decent length, but I'm hand watering that at the moment. Just need to get the irrigation running from there now around into that one. I made the mistake of putting the 4 on the top before putting the ones on the bottom, so I haven't been able to get them in. So I've only done 1 this year, but next year I'll remember 4 at the bottom, then do the 4 at the top. But that's the parsnip, beetroot, and another parsnip. We'll be trying a carrot in the future. And yes, I have left it on overnight once before, but it doesn't use a lot of water, and I will show you how to clean those drippers out as well. They do get blocked up occasionally. Thin the grapes out. Forgot to show you the box of grapes. Oh, hello. That I have done, but they're all coming on nicely. My favourite one is flopped now. I will wait this year, but all these tomatoes on this side are all supposedly ones that should give me some nice blooms, but I have got one. Look at this, guys. I'm not even sure I'm going to be raising the Polytunnel this year. Oh dear me. Oh. Now this was the mega bloom that I put on Facebook, but I don't think it's all the other blooms haven't been pollinated, so they're not joining together to form a mega bloom, which is what we're after. But and something else there that's looking quite nice. But yeah, all a bit of fun. When I'm retired, I'll be able to concentrate on them more. Some nice tomatoes forming now. Just got to leave it a few more days because I have sprayed for blight in here, so must be extra careful. Don't want to be, oh dear, cables are getting caught up. But overall, considering the season we've had, I'm fairly happy. Oh, I do love it when my grapes hang. Watching Mike Hurdiss, and I, when I've raised the Polytunnel, these barrels I thought, yeah, they'll be good, but you can only get perhaps 2 tomatoes in, and I'm thinking I might be able to do better with 30-litre buckets, keep the tomatoes lower as well. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. I can reuse these and other parts of the allotment for raised containers. But when you see other people doing things, then you suddenly think, oh, did I do right in the first place? You know, this carrot box was for the carrots in there, but we had too many issues, dried out. Do I lower it or just do I leave it? Always things to think about. So I'm in the back of the shed at PP Corner, and there's my last 4 pallet collars. These are all the street lighting lamp covers that I've got left after giving some away. I just need more storage, so that's the shed where the wasp nest was. I'll show you shortly. And what I want to do is get this hedge cut back again and create an open space there for all the recyclable bits that I find and collect, especially over the next 2 years before retirement. So my intentions are to go back to my boundary, open it all up, maybe extend the sheets. I thought I'd got some more sheets coming, but my brother decided to recycle them and put them back on. And some of you was aware I'd got a wasp nest, and there it is. And I am allergic, and yeah, I shouldn't be stamping my feet, upsetting them, but I shouldn't be spraying them either. And the first spray, and they all chased me down the garden, and I was screaming like a little girl. These are my permanent beam beds, and within those beds I've got my underground worm farms, and you saw me filling those with food for my worms to eat. But Mr. Ratty was trying to get in there as well, and he's dug all the way around that underground worm farm. Difficult light, I can't see if you can see, but all the food is fully intact. There, you might be able to see that a bit better now. He's dug right down the sides, and there's the beneficial insects, anything that there will break the food down, help the worms, and then the worms will feed the beds. But every station that I put fresh food in, they did a bit of excavating. So we move on to the giant kohlrabi. Everybody keeps saying, eat it, eat it. No, this is going into the giants. It ain't a giant. The giants are way up here. But a mistake in the seed. It's supposed to be in a cabbage. It's given me the opportunity to try and grow one. And these are some of the other cabbages. As you can see, I've sprayed with neem oil, and I must now get this bed sorted out and get my sprouts sorted. The butterflies have been about, but I've left these in, these sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, calabrese, etc., and hopefully they'll land the eggs on there and it won't hurt nothing. Some of the broccoli and cauliflower did go to seed. You see, this red cabbage has done nothing, and these are hearting up nicely now, and they'll make for good eating if nothing else. Variegated onion, that may end up being the biggest, but it's looking very, very sad. But I'm going to leave that anyway, let it go to seed, repot it up maybe. This has now got a net on because the pigeons decided to have a good peck. There's no more damage since I've put the net on. The pigeons need to be able to fly in. If they can't fly in, they can't get on the bed. They don't know how to use ladders at the moment. Okay, I did ask a question on one of my previous videos. Why have I upcycling or part of upcycling the Hoover? I've got 4 barrels here that need filling, and I use the water pipe with lots of little legs on it. So this is a suggestion from one of my viewers. So where before I got plastic pipes, white plastic pipes all over the place, it was exactly the right sort of size, cut off onto some of this, put a connector on it so I can pull this off now, and I've even used that bit. Well, we've got a bit of a leak there, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. But basically all I've got to do now is move it to whichever barrel I want, and if we've got a bit of a leak, then I'll just dump it in there. And it looks like the end's dropped off anyway, so now I'm flexible and I can fill the drums up without too much wastage, especially on these 4. took all the pipes down, but the pipes come down here. I'll do a proper setup, keep them off the ground, and I can fill these drums up. This is fish poo, so I was feeding the potatoes, watering them with the fish poo, but once they started falling over, there's too much a risk of blight, so we've left it. But that'll be a great addition to my growing space. Some of these over here, the Kelsey, I must say they've also got to a good size. But let's see, everything's just flippy flopping. And if anybody wants to see any videos on my water movement, 12 volt pumps, etc., then why not check out my playlist, or I'll try and put it up at the end. I will be cutting pulling the full length of cable out, because I can use this cable, even though it's 240 volt cable, I can use that for the 12 volt. And if I don't run back up to the plot now to switch it off, I'm going to be overflowing. My carrot issues, this one doesn't look too bad, but there's the telltale signs there of the redness. This bed's completely shot, so I'm going to be lifting all these. I'm going to put a bit of a barrier between these, because these don't look too bad at the moment, even though when you look closer, never mind. All these will be netted next year. I'd normally pull that weed out, I don't want to touch those. Celery in this bed, and I've got celery in the vertical gardening that I'm trying. If it works in the vertical, then I'll do a bit more, but everything's doing really well. That New Zealand spinach hasn't gone to seed, and I've been pinching the tips out on that as recommended by the Kiwi gardener. I think I'll put his channel name in the bottom. Bull's Blood, that's the original. Absolutely brilliant. And there's an original lot of Bull's Blood. If you keep hacking the big leaves down, and those smaller leaves are a great addition to my lunchbox. Autumn fruiting raspberries. Must be a different variety at this end, but they look nice, excuse me. Delicious. And I've got some celery in the rainwater gravity wick system. So this is ordinary rainwater guttering fed from gravity, and we're about halfway down. Now I would have used more water from watering cans. All those plants are doing is drawing up exactly what they want. And here's the grapes that we've taken off. It does seem a shame, but you do need to take the grapes off to give all the others a chance. Thin them out about 12 inches apart, or one per 2 or 3 nodes, and then cut the rest off. It thinks it's dying, so it'll produce some nice fruit. Thanks for watching, guys, commenting. I'm pleased I've been up my father's allotment. I'm so busy. It's unbelievable. I will be doing a DIY tour of the house. You start in one room, you work your way through to another, and the pennies I get from the monetisation have been diverted a little bit to that. So whether I do the Polytunnel this year or not, I don't know. This is a wonderful space to sit and relax. I do occasionally, guys, honest. Please, if you're still with me at this point, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and please leave me a comment. Happy gardening to you all. Until next time. Ta-ra for now.